evening, peasants, and welcome back inside the Palace Castle. And as you can see, today we're in the billiard room, and we're going to be kind of discussing not so much technology today, but we're going to really get into how does this class work. We're going to take a look at the class website, the hub of everything you will need all year long for this class, and we'll discuss a little bit about the gamification process and exactly what you can expect and maybe even what your parents can expect for the class this year. So sit back and get ready to learn all about what exactly is the gamification process and how am I going to succeed in Mr. Sponseller's castle. Okay, so I thought we would begin today with a tour around the castle. Now, you've already been to some of the places, but you haven't actually seen what actually goes on there. So let's take a quick tour of the castle to see what you can expect throughout the year, especially starting with our class website. So if you have your computer up, go ahead and from your Windows desktop or your Mac, go ahead and click to your web browser, wherever that might be. Okay, I'm going to click on Google Chrome here. And going to bring up the web browser, and in the web browsing URL address, as always, going to type in www.southushistory.weebly.com, and it would help if you put the dot in there after www. There we go. If you click on that or just click enter, it'll bring you to the class website. You've done this before, so that shouldn't be any issue for you at all. What you see here is known as the dungeons. Now, you've seen that we've been in the dungeons. Sometimes the dungeons can be very creepy and evil. Sometimes the dungeons can be very happy and heartwarming. Now, beware, because when you aren't doing the things that you're supposed to do during class, you can be put into the dungeons. And that means you've got a long ways and a lot of things that you can do to get out of that. You don't want to start losing points for yourself, for your team, or for your guild, or for your hall. So you want to make sure that you're always doing everything that you're supposed to be doing during class time, and even when we're doing things outside of class, whether it be one of our games or what have you. So make sure that you're always, doing the right thing so that you can avoid the dungeons. But as you can see here, let's go ahead and start at the top. We have the hashtag of the day. Now, what the hashtag of the day is, every day that you come into class, I'm going to have some type of hashtag on the board. You're going to keep track of these. And for the first person of each hall that gets the correct answer to what I'm looking for in the hashtag, then they will receive, all right, 1 or 2 bonus points, depending on what day it is, for themselves, for their guild, and also for their hall. So you want to keep track of all of them. There'll be a full list there that you can make sure that you have a list of at all times here, where it says full list of hashtags. To the right of that, you have what's called the Jester of the Day. Now, this is a fun thing that I like to do. It's just a little bonus kind of shilling thing. And there's going to be a riddle here every single day, and until I get an answer from each person, or one person again from each hall. The first person who brings me the answer, they can email it to me, they can bring it to me at my desk. If they find it during the day or in the evening time, they can email it to me. It doesn't matter what you want to do, just make sure that you get it to me and you're the first one. When you're the first one, okay, I will give you the points just like for the hashtag of the day. So those are just a little bonus areas for you as we go along throughout the year. There'll be stuff up there all the time. The rest of this is just the intro video that will sometimes change depending on, this is one of the first ones that I created. Of course, things have changed since then, so if you watch that video, some of the processes in our class go a little bit differently than what you see in that video. But this is just your welcome, kind of gives you an idea, maybe your parents, if they want to read exactly what they can expect throughout the year. Okay, well, let's go on down the hallway here, and let's look at the Hall of Halls. And this is going to be the area where we keep track of what every single hall is doing throughout the year. All right, so you'll go ahead and you'll click on the halls button. And when you do so, the halls page will come up. Now, as you can see right now, there's nothing going on here because we haven't started school yet when I'm making this video. So all this will change. Where it says upload image right here will be all the flags that you're going to be creating for your hall. Okay, I know it says period, but that's going to change. That's just to let me know what periods are which. Okay, and of course who the leader is at that time in the hall of our gamification process, how many shillings that hall has to date, okay, so forth and so on. So make sure that you're always looking here if you want to keep an idea of what hall is doing the best, because remember, at the end of each 9 weeks, the hall with the most shilling points is going to get a surprise at the end of the 9 weeks. All right, let's go ahead and click on now to the library. We've been spending a lot of our time here on our technology series and our information series in the library. So you've been there, but you haven't probably checked out many of the books. And so if you scroll down here inside the library, you'll notice that there is 4 little icons with text over top. The first one is historical documents. All right, so let's go ahead and click on that. And let's see where the historical documents tab takes us. Well, wouldn't you know, there's already stuff here waiting for you. Yes, our first pretty much series that you're going to be doing, we call them scenarios, and we'll talk about that in class, of course, is that sometimes for your quest, you're going to have to read, kind of comprehend, answer questions of actual historical documents. As you can see here, we've got a Christopher Columbus journal, the Henry Hudson Voyage journal, and so these are things you're going to have to be reading, expected to and required to read for your shilling points for your certain quests throughout the first scenario that we're going to be doing after the training mission. So this will just kind of give you an idea of what's there. Go ahead and click on the back button, and so that we get right back to the main library page, and then we're going to click over here to the right. This place you should already be acclimated to. We've talked about it before, but if you click on the class documents tab, all right, this is where you can find your class syllabus. You should have already completed the syllabus tutorial earlier on in this series. However, there will be a lot of things here as well. One of the major things you're going to find here are the documents that you need for class. For example, I will have paper copies, but I don't like to kill many trees. I used to have a paperless classroom, but now that we're going to periods, I'm going to start kind of bringing back some papers for those people who like to keep track of things that way. But you can also find it digitally. So for example, your enter and exit mission briefings will be located here. Your actual scenario guides will be located here as well, just in case you lose yours and you need to print one off at home. And so all of the class documents that you will need will be found here under the class documents tab. Okay, let's go ahead and go back now. All right, and let's go down here to where it says flipped videos. Yes, flipped videos. Go ahead and click on that, and you'll notice that it actually takes us away from our class website. It takes me and takes you to the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, which is where you can find all of the YouTube videos. So if you just need to go watch something again, or maybe you don't feel like going on Nomiya right at this second, you just want to watch the video and do the Nomiya stuff second, that's fine. But remember, you must watch the video all the way through on the Nomiya site. So that way you get your credit for 5 points, because it will let me know, Nomiya will, if you did it. So you really don't need to worry about this as much. I just put it there so that you guys can know that this is where all my information is located on YouTube. Going back to the library page now, and the last thing we're going to talk about, I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because you've already done it, all right? Or if you haven't, you're getting ready to do it in the next series. But this is where you will find all of your Nomiya assignments. All right, so you'll notice that we're in the training mission, and so all the training mission quests will be located here. To get to the Nomiya site, all you have to do is click on the corresponding one that you're getting ready to do. Make sure that you are logged in to Nomiya before you click on this link, and then it will take you right there and you can complete the assignment. All right, so that'll about do it for the library. So now, from the library, we can just kind of take the secret portal here and go right into the Barbican. All right, if you don't know what the Barbican is, go ahead and click on it, and we'll tell you all about what you can expect in the Barbican. This was the rune that was used in medieval times to pose an obstacle for any intruding legions trying to attack the castle. But we are using this rune as the basis for gamification. So, the current mission that every single hall will be on. That's the first thing you have to understand. We'll get to that in our second part of today's lesson. But you will all be on the same scenario or the same mission at the same time. Now, you could work ahead and try to be the first one and get to the end the fastest, all right, but this allows everybody to work at their own pace. That's what is so great about gamification. Okay, so the current mission will be located here. You can click on it and we'll go straight to the current mission. So let's go ahead and click on this, and you'll notice that it's going to bring up the first mission, All right, and we're going to come back to this more when we do part 2 of our training mission when we explain exactly what to do. But I wanted to go ahead and show you that this will take you, all right, to the actual training mission scenario 1. And we'll come back to that in part 2 of this. All right, and then over here on the right, you'll see the leaderboards. Now, it's not linked up yet because we're not ready for it. But yes, there will be a leaderboard. It will show the top 10 people in each hall and how they're doing. And you can maybe kind of try and rank yourself up. You'll know what level you are and how many badges that you have. You'll also see, all right, what other halls have and maybe also what the guilds have. And so all the leaderboards can be found here in the Barbican. And so this is the main place that you need to go if you're wanting to catch up on what's going on with gamification inside of the castle. And now we're going to go head downstairs where the food's smelling really good. We'll head into the galley. And the galley will open up, and this is the place where you can go to send anything that you need to send assignment-wise that's not through Nomia straight to me. So let's say, for example, that you are creating your avatar, and you're ready to send that avatar to Mr. Sponseller. All you do is put your name, your last name, all right, the email, your email, and then choose the file. So if you made a Google Drive document, okay, or I'm sorry, not a Google Drive document, but a Microsoft Word document or whatever you've done, okay, you can choose the file and then submit it here. Now, if you're doing things on Google Drive or Google Documents, you can just send it straight to my email address that is for Google Documents, and we'll talk about that in class. So there are multiple ways, depending on what you like to use, to get your information and submit your assignments to me. So there is no excuses on getting things to me in a very quick manner. And that'll wrap up the galley. And so the last thing I want to kind of throw attention to you for is the throne room. And the throne room, and you go ahead and click on that, you'll notice is all about the information for me. Okay, my name, my email address. This is my school address. So when you're submitting assignments, please try and do not send any assignments to this. This is my school email address. I'm only supposed to use it for school things, and I don't need it full of all these assignments coming in. So that's why I have an assignment submission email, southhonorshistory@gmail.com. You can use that email to send all of your assignments. It goes right into my Gmail. I can bring it up right up in Google Documents, and it's very easy for me to grade and get right back to you. The school phone number, of course, my extension. So if your parents or you need to contact me if you're at home, okay, and I'm at work, this is where you can find me. Okay, and so I want you to know, as well as the parents, you can feel free to contact me at any time with any questions. Email's the best way. I carry my phone and my iPad with me every single day in class as I'm walking around the gamification process. So I will get it immediately, and I can kind of type right back to you real quick if I'm in the middle of doing something. I'll get with you, try to get back with you in the next hour or two, but I will always get back with you. So please do not hesitate to contact me for any information that you need. All right, well, that'll about wrap up part 1 of this lesson here today on the gamification process. We've kind of taken a quick tour of the castle itself. And when we return, we're going to talk a little bit more about what is the gamification process and what are these scenarios and missions that you're talking about. So stay tuned. And that will wrap up part 1 of the gamification process, and I hope you learned something today. In part 2, you can expect, for us, we're going to be going over what the gamification process is, exactly what the missions and the scenarios and the quests are, what you are going to be doing inside a class, what you're going to be doing at home. So stay tuned next time as we do part 2 of the gamification process. For the rest of the day, I'm going to go out here and enjoy the rest of the garden and probably go down and catch me a few fish out of the moat. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening as well. And until class time, we'll see you the next time here inside of the Palace Studio Castle.